Okay, so we're going to talk about finding the circumference and area of a circle. So before we do that, we have to talk about some part of the circle. All right, so a very important part will be the radius of the circle, r. So the radius is simply the distance from the center of the circle, let's say here center, okay, to the circumference. Okay, the distance from the center, or the shortest distance from the center of the circle to the circumference of the circle. We don't have the radius. Then we also have the diameter, which is so diameter d, which is 2 times the radius. It's simply the distance from one part of the circle, from one circumference to the other side. Okay, so in the middle. So the diameter would divide the circle into two um, equal halves. And again, the diameter is twice the radius. So diameter. So if you want to find the circumference of a circle, the formula will be 2 pi r. Okay, where pi can be 22/7 or maybe 3.14, or some people use 3.142. It depends on what the question asks you to use, but the common ones will be 22/7 and 3.14. Okay, so the formula for the circumference of a circle will be 2 pi r, or we can also say pi d, because the diameter is 2 times r, so we can say the circumference of a circle will be 2 pi r or pi d. And then for the area of a circle, that'll be pi r squared. So in both circumference and area, there's pi. So the area of a circle will be pi r squared. If we want to do that in terms of d, so we know that that's going to be, so we know that d is, 2r, right? So it means that r will be d over 2. So the area will be pi d over 2 squared. And if we open the bracket, that will be pi d squared over what's over 2 squared, which is pi d squared over 4. That's if you want to use the diameter, but you can just use the pi r square. So let's try and solve some questions now. So now find the circumference and area of a circle whose radius is 10 centimeters. So you can visualize that if you want, just draw a circle. The radius will be 10 centimeters. So the formula for the circumference of a circle will be 2 pi r. So for this video, I'm just going to use a pi as 3.14 for consistency. So C will be 2 times 3.14 times 10. All right, so 2 times 3.14 times 10 should give us 62.8 centimeters. And how about the area? So the area will be pi r squared. So that will be pi is 3.14 times 10 squared. So that will be 3.14 times what's 10 squared? 100. So 3.14 times 100 would be 314 centimeter squared. Okay, so the circumference of this circle is 62.8, and then the area is 314. So the circumference is just like the circumference is analogous to the perimeter. It's kind of similar. So if we start from here and go around the circle, sorry, what's the distance or what's the length? That's just it. So sometimes you might hear, so instead of some question saying find the circumference of a circle, they might actually ask you find the length of a circle. Sometimes they might say find the perimeter of a circle. So if the questions ask you like this, they're kind of asking the same thing. Find the circumference of the circle. And then we go to number 2. The diameter of a circle is 22 meters. Find its area and circumference. So we know that D is equal to 22 meters. And we know that the formula for, let's say, area is pi r squared. The formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So we can simply find our r. Okay, you can say r is equal to d over 2, which is 22 divided by 2. So our radius will be 11 meters. And then we plug 11 here. Let's find our area. So we use pi as 3.14. So that will be 3.14 times 11 squared. So that is 3.14 times 11 squared is 121. So 3.14 times 121 equals equal to 379.94 meter squared. So the unit will be in meter squared. And then for the circumference, okay, 2 pi r, that will be 2 times 3.14 times 11. Okay, so 2 times 3.14 times 11 is equal to 69.08 meters. So our area of this circle will be 379.94 meters squared. The circumference or the length or the perimeter of the circle will be 69.08 meters. And then for the third question, find the circumference of a circle whose area is 28.26. Okay, so A is 28.26. So how do we find the circumference? So I think the first thing we should do is to find the radius. Okay, so we know that A is equal to pi r squared, right? So it means that 28.26 is equal to pi r squared. Okay, so what is our pi? We're going to use 3.14. So 28.26 is equal to 3.14 times r squared. We can divide both sides by 3.14. Alright, so 28.26 divided by 3.14. That should give us 9. So it means that 9 is equal to r squared, or r squared is 9. So what do? We just need r. So we can square root both sides. Square root both sides. So root 9 is equal to the root of r squared. Okay, which is, so the root of r squared will be r, and then root 9 would be 3. So the square root of 9 is 3. So it means that the radius of this circle is 3 millimeters, because the unit is in millimeters. So 3, so r is 3 millimeters. Then we can plug it into the formula for the circumference, which is 2 pi r. That will be 2 times 3.14 times 3. So 2 times 3.14 times 3 will give us 18.84 millimeters. Okay, so you can see we've been able to do 3 questions about area and circumference of a circle. So as long as you know your other formulas, so I'll just put them here again. So A, area of the circle will be pi r squared. The circumference of the circle will be 2 pi r. Okay, and then we know that r is also d over 2. That's diameter divided by 2. And pi Sometimes some people use 22/7 or 3.14. Okay, so I hope this helps. Thank you, and have a nice day.